So the heat has been coming down on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, man, and she is unraveling and falling apart. You know, there's a lot of things going on. You know, Toure, he did a video where he said that he worked with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant some months ago on the show. And he saw all this stuff that's all these allegations that's against her now coming down the pike. He already knew that she wasn't who she said she was, right? This woman puts on an act in a show because she's a grifter. She's selling an image, right? She understands that online you could be the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. If you look good enough, show a little boob, a tight dress, a little booty and leg, man, listen, you'll get people to tune in and people will listen to you. Well, Toure was revealed this.
Worked with Cheyenne Bryant on a TV show for about 6 months last year.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
And we got into a massive intellectual argument that came up through multiple episodes of the show. And that told me a lot. Basically, I totally saw this coming. Let me tell you my Cheyenne story. For several months last year, we did a 4-person talk show where she and I were the lead voices. I tried to get clips of it, but the third party that holds the records only holds on to old videos for 2 years. So on the show, we kept coming back to the same intellectual argument. All of this was on the show, on the air. I'm not talking about anything behind the scenes. For me, at the core of this intellectual argument was what y'all have been saying through this press tour from hell. Is she really an academic? Is she really a doctor? See, I'm a parent of 2 teenagers, and I believe, because I have read and researched a lot on the subject, I believe parents should not hit children as punishment. There should be no corporal punishment in the home. I know that's triggering to a lot of people who are not child psychologists.
Now, on this content that he created with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, that he thought that he wouldn't be able to get, has now resurfaced after all these allegations. And he was trying to find out was she a doctor, child therapist, and all these different things. And you know, he's a person that he disagrees with any form of physical punishment towards a child, right? And on the show, they disagreed. Now, we would have thought that Cheyenne Bryant would have handled this in the way that a doctor would handle this, a professional. She's a professional where she's licensed and trained to understand how to work with a child, diagnose a child, understand the thought process of a child, right? Whereas though when we were growing up, grandma and pop might just get the strap, get the belt, and whoop your behind, whoop your tail. She's supposed to be a doctor and specialize in this. Well, Toure disagreed with her stance on this and all hell broke.
Doc, what do you think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible for their children's behavior?
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to be mentally stable and healthy and be in a state of mind where they can actually, operate as a citizen who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, should not be have consequence or discipline. But again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a child. I think that there are rules and there's structure, and there's a thing called boundaries, and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves. And if we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being in battles, and they end up actually having a lot of issues with law enforcement. They end up being the child that's disruptive in school and class because they don't understand that the world doesn't revolve around them. There's a big world that they are able to participate in, but they cannot be the center of attention to everything. And so I'll end on saying that what I do agree with is that every child is different, and that every child may not necessarily need the same level of discipline, but every child does need structure and discipline in order for that child to grow up and be an adult who understands that this is the law of the land, this is how life works, and successful people, not just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, everybody, especially men.
You are a
My
gentle.
God, are
You
you
are a
kidding?
very, very.
Hold on,
You're
guys.
not a
Hold on, guys.
gentleman.
Hold on, guys.
So she tries. So now I understand why when she goes on to shows now she gets pushed back. She tries to maintain her composure because she never wanted these tapes to come out because Toure is trying to end the show and he didn't really disagree with her. He was just giving like his opinion based off of what he thought, and she couldn't compose herself at all. This was not the behavior of a doctor, right? She just started acting the double dog fool. Right? And, you know, everybody else was on the show was shocked. They couldn't believe that she was carrying on this way. Right? But she never wanted this video to resurface because it puts her in a horrible light. And now where her credentials are being questioned, well, they're not even being questioned anymore. We know that her credentials are fraudulent. Now we understand why.
That's what we need in the world is more gentle men who understand.
Ray, you're very gentle. And it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Toure, first of all, Toure.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all,
what is the point of interrupting me?
First of all,
we're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host
voice when you're talking to me. Lower your voice when you're talking to me. Because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Toure, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Toure, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you finish. That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold on,
to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Now, this woman, Ratchetta Jenkins, is not a doctor. This is Rasputia Jackson, right? She just on there just acting a fool. Like, now you on there saying, argue with your wife, not me. You're cussing. You're doing all this kind of stuff. Now, you had a civil rights attorney woman down there. She just like, oh, my God, man. Where they get this woman from? You got the brother over there, man. Everybody just over there quiet because Ratchetta Jenkins is just wilding out, right? Wilding out. Like, this thing is real crazy. Now, for me, I didn't know Toure had a wife. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was part of the Skittles crew for many years, man. He was always kind of like feminine or whatever. I always thought that he was, he was down with the rainbow. I didn't know, man, but they wasn't done.
You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
Are we ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
Ariva, Frank, you guys ready?
Yep.
You ready, Toure, to wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera. Here we go.
We always ask, when should a parent be held responsible for their children's behavior, whether it's at school, tantrum in Walmart, whatever? Let's flip the lens. There's a difference between the parent mourning a child lost to violence and the one silently praying because their child pulled the trigger. One gets sympathy, the other gets silence, but both carry a pain the world rarely understands. So tonight, the part we never talk about, ask yourself, not as a spectator, but as a parent of a child who took a life, how should society treat that parent? Should the law hold them accountable or let them live with the weight in silence? Would you deserve compassion or a conviction or a bunch of I told you so's? It's a tough one, but that's what we do on Truth Talk.
So we can see her temperament, right? She has a horrible temperament, right? And she's giving advice for parents and she doesn't have any children. So she's telling you how you should manage children, and she don't have children, right? But then the number one grifter in America, Amanda Seals, this woman, man, she comes at black women, she comes at Democrats, she comes at, she says that she's a, revolutionary. She comes at different groups, but the funny part is, you don't have a problem with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant lying to the public about her credentials. I mean, this is just the biggest hypocrite of all time.
I think it's like a false. I think it's like a false. It's like faux rage to be like all up in arms about this one person. So someone here said, this one person is influencing vulnerable Black people and therefore they are causing harm. It's funny how you can hand wave that away so callously. How is she causing harm? How is she causing harm? Is she giving bad advice? Is she invoking folks to harm themselves? How is she causing harm? She is falsely using a title to give people, to endear people to trust her more. That's whack. Causing harm? I don't know, playa. I think your version of harm is really loose compared to how much harm is being caused to Black people in real life. Cheyenne Bryant is not causing Black people harm, the same way that Jussie Smollett was not causing Black people harm. And yet people will never let him live that down. Okay, she has no credentials. Is what she's saying, is she useful? Is she helpful? Like, I mean, the amount of people, here's the thing. If the issue is you're like, well, she didn't put in the work to get the PhD and I think it's unfair for her to take credit for something she didn't put in the work for, that's fine. When y'all be like, she doesn't have credentials, I'm just kind of like, the concept of credentials at this point is very loose. It's very loose. I mean, I don't. Thank you, Val. It's like, listen to her or don't listen to her. She doesn't have any power over you. She's not doing anything legislative. She's not physically harming people. She's not mentally harming people. Hey, Alexa says, I'm a therapist and I don't give two. At the end of the day, my thing is this. We have to look at the bigger picture. If she was out here, like the fact that people still would like to quote, like this guy, what's his name? Who was the man that died? And he was like doing all of this couples counseling or whatever. He would sit there and disrespect women all day to their face. Like, what? I forgot his name. But people were swearing up and down by this man. He didn't have no goddamn credentials. Kevin Samuels. People didn't have he didn't have no goddamn credentials.
Now, see right there, this is why you can't trust these people, man, these grifters. First of all, Kevin Samuels never claimed to be a doctor. He never claimed to be something that he wasn't. He said he was an image consultant. That's what he said he was. And he talked to men about what it was that they want. And he was talking about high value men. He wasn't talking about all men, right? Women came and joined in and was in agreement with him. He didn't do what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant did. That's a false equivalent. They're not nowhere near on the same level. She's coming in saying that she was a therapist and she had all these different degrees, right? And Black women took umbrage with that. Now, you are a woman with the credentials and the degrees, but what she just did was she just spit in the eye of all these women that take umbrage with her that did the work to get their doctorates. That's what she just did, right? And people just running with that. Kevin Samuels has absolutely nothing to do with that. Nothing. He told you who he was and what he did for a living. Not one time did he come out and say that, hey, I'm a professional in this or that. He said he was speaking about what it was the high value men said that they want in a woman. That was it. She's claiming to be something that she's not and leading people to believe that she's that and saying that she has these sessions and these clients and this. So it's not the same. This woman is a liar and a grifter. And 1 minute, man, she's on this side. The next minute, she's on this side. Man, she just goes with wherever the wind blow. She just go wherever the wind blow. So yeah, so now you riding with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant because you want to play the villain. Like, man, miss me with that. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant never wanted this video to come out because it's exposing her true colors and who she really is and how she operates. She did not operate as a therapist or a psychologist, whatever, all those different things when she's understanding the mind and how to break things down and how to, not let things get to her. She didn't operate as a doctor at all. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.